Hey TechKnowSurge! At times we need to know more information about certain data that we have. For instance, let's say I have a picture. That picture is made up of data. That data then gets translated and then displayed on our screens. But maybe we want some additional information about that picture. Well, that's what metadata is. Metadata is extra data about that data. So in this lesson, let's get into what metadata is. A picture is made up of pixels, and those pixels are represented by how much red, how much green, and how much blue are in each one of those pixels. And then put it all together and we actually form a picture. Well, here's the data that we have that we can translate into picture form, and this is what we see on our screen. But there are times we want additional information about that picture. For instance, we take a trip to Paris and we take a picture of the Eiffel Tower. We may want to know, when did we take that picture? So metadata is extra data that's stored about this data. So what we have here is maybe the location, which is Paris, maybe the time and the date that it was taken, and perhaps it has some information about the size of this photo. And so it's extra information that goes into what this picture is all about. Of course, if we have metadata, then somehow we need to store that metadata. And there's a couple ways we can do this. We can either do it embedded into a picture right here, or perhaps we save it along with it, so it's a separate file that gives additional information about this picture. Or maybe we store it in some place like a database, and we have a database that we store this in. So there are different ways that we can store metadata. Our files usually have additional information or metadata that's stored. So for instance, this text file right here has the type of file it is. It has a description. It has things like the date created and date modified. So we can find some additional information about this file. That would be metadata. I'm on my demo laptop and let's take a look at a file. So I've created a file in here and I'm going to right click on it to view some of this additional information. I'm going to go down to Properties and open up the Properties. And here we can see some of the information we'll take a look at here is the created, modified, and accessed. This was created at 12:17 today, and then it was modified at 12:18. So I opened it up, added some text, and you can see that right there. And then the last accessed. So let's go ahead and open this back up and make a change to it and see how this time changes here. So I'm going to close this. Let's open it and just make a change. So I'm just gonna say something real simple here, change, and I'll save that. We're gonna close it. And then we'll take a look at the properties again. So here we go. We've got now 12:21. So it updated this time. And we can see that's also the last time that we accessed it. So I also have this details tab, which shows me some other information about this. So where it's located at, we see the type of document it is, the name of the file. So it's just some other information that we have around this particular file. So that is the metadata, some of the metadata that's stored for this file.